Imagine a predator terrorizing California for over a decade, breaking into homes, attacking families, disappearing without a trace, over 50 rapes, 13 murders, hundreds of burglaries. Investigators had his DNA. They knew he existed, but for 40 years they couldn't find him. And then, in 2018, breakthrough technology finally revealed his identity: a former police officer, living a normal suburban life. This is the story of the Golden State Killer. This is Cold Trail. When the terror began in 1974 in Visalia, California, someone was breaking into homes while families slept. Over 100 burglaries. The burglar took strange items, coins, photos, personal belongings. He would move things around, rearrange furniture. It was unsettling. Victims felt violated. Police called him the Visalia ransacker. But the ransacking was just the beginning. The crimes were about to escalate into something far more sinister. Someone was practicing, learning how to enter homes undetected, preparing for something worse. In 1976, the attacks changed. Sacramento, California. A masked man began breaking into homes in the middle of the night. But he wasn't there to steal anymore. He was there to terrorize. He would wake couples at gunpoint, tie them up, blindfold them. He attacked women while their husbands or boyfriends were bound and helpless in the next room. He was methodical, calm. He had clearly done this before. Police called him the East Area Rapist. Over 50 attacks. Always at night, always vanishing without a trace. Investigators noticed disturbing patterns. The attacker stalked his victims for weeks before striking. He knew their schedules. He knew when they were home. He cut phone lines. He pried open windows. He brought his own weapons and restraints. He was organized, prepared, intelligent. Witnesses described a white male, athletic build, between 5'8" and 5'10", but descriptions were vague. He wore a mask, gloves. He left almost no evidence, except one thing: DNA. But in the 1970s, DNA technology didn't exist yet. In 1979, the attacks moved south. Orange County, Santa Barbara, Ventura. The East Area Rapist had become mobile, traveling between counties, attacking in different jurisdictions. Police departments didn't always share information back then. Some agencies didn't realize they were hunting the same man. But the attacks continued. Same methods, same patterns, same terrifying efficiency. And then, the violence escalated again. The rapist became a killer. The body count began. December 1979, Brian and Katie Maggiore were walking their dog in Rancho Cordova when they were shot and killed. Investigators believe the East Area Rapist killed them after they stumbled upon him prowling. The attacks continued. February 1981, Manuela Withhun, bludgeoned to death in her home. July 1981, Sherry Domingo and Gregory Sanchez murdered. The killer was evolving, becoming more violent, more deadly. Police now called him the original Night Stalker. They didn't yet know he was the same man who terrorized Northern California. For years, investigators didn't connect the crimes. The East Area Rapist in Northern California, the original Night Stalker in Southern California, different jurisdictions, different victims. But in 2001, DNA technology advanced. Forensic analysts compared DNA from crime scenes. The match was conclusive. The East Area Rapist and the original Night Stalker were the same person. One man, 50 rapes, 13 murders, over 100 burglaries. He was given a new name, the Golden State Killer, but he was still a ghost. The Golden State Killer's last known crime was in 1986. 18-year-old Janelle Cruz murdered in her home, and then silence. The attack stopped. Had he died? Been imprisoned for another crime? Moved away? Investigators didn't know. The case went cold. Decades passed. Victims and their families aged. Some died, never knowing who had terrorized them. Detectives retired, haunted by the unsolved case. The Golden State Killer became a legend, a nightmare that California couldn't forget. But technology was about to change everything. In 2018, investigator Paul Holes tried something new: genetic genealogy. He uploaded the Golden State Killer's DNA to public genealogy databases like GED Match. These databases contained DNA from people researching their family trees. The killer's DNA matched distant relatives. Investigators built a family tree, narrowed down suspects, followed branches, eliminated possibilities. It took months of painstaking work, but finally they had a name: Joseph James D'Angelo, a 72-year-old former police officer living quietly in a Sacramento suburb. Could it really be him? Investigators began surveillance on Joseph DeAngelo's home. They watched him, photographed him, waited for him to discard something with his DNA. In April 2018, DeAngelo threw away tissue in a public trash can. Investigators retrieved it, sent it to the lab. The DNA was tested, compared to the Golden State Killer's profile. It was a match. After 40 years, they had him. Joseph James DeAngelo, former police officer, former Navy veteran, husband, father, grandfather, living a normal suburban life while hiding a monstrous secret. April 24, 2018, law enforcement surrounded DeAngelo's home in Citrus Heights, California. They arrested him without incident. The 72-year-old man offered no resistance. News of the arrest shocked the nation. The Golden State Killer, one of California's most notorious criminals, had been caught. Survivors and victims' families wept. After decades of fear and frustration, justice was finally possible. But many wondered, how did a former cop become one of the worst serial criminals in American history? What turned Joseph DeAngelo into a monster? Joseph DeAngelo was born in 1945. He served in the Navy during Vietnam, earned a degree in criminal justice, became a police officer in Exeter, California in 1973. Later, he worked for Auburn Police Department. He was fired in 1979 for shoplifting. After that, he worked as a mechanic. He married, had 3 daughters. He seemed ordinary, unremarkable, but during his time as a police officer, DeAngelo was committing horrific crimes. He used his law enforcement training to evade capture. He knew how police investigated, how to avoid leaving evidence. He was a predator, hiding in plain sight. DeAngelo's trial was delayed by COVID-19. In June 2020, he pleaded guilty to 13 counts of first-degree murder and 13 kidnapping charges related to robberies. He avoided the death penalty by confessing. In court, survivors confronted him. They described the terror he'd inflicted, the lives he'd destroyed. DeAngelo sat silently, emotionless. Some victims said he smirked. Others said he looked frail and pathetic. The man who'd terrorized California for decades was now a feeble old man facing justice, but his confession brought no real answers, only cold admissions of guilt.
On the
August 21st, 2020, Joseph DeAngelo was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. 11 consecutive life sentences, plus 15 life terms. He will die in prison. Victims and their families spoke at sentencing. They called him a coward, a monster. Some forgave him, others cursed him. DeAngelo offered a brief statement apologizing to his victims, but his words rang hollow. The damage was done. Families had waited 40 years. Some never saw justice, but for those still alive, there was finally closure. The Golden State Killer was caged forever. Joseph DeAngelo's capture changed criminal investigations forever. Genetic genealogy became a powerful tool. Cold cases across America were solved using the same technique. The Golden State Killer's arrest gave hope to countless families waiting for answers, but the case also serves as a reminder: evil can hide anywhere, even behind a badge. DeAngelo terrorized California for over a decade. He evaded capture for 40 years. But science and determination finally brought him down. If you have information about any cold case, speak up. Technology advances, justice delayed is not justice denied. This is Cold Trail. Subscribe and join us. Thanks for watching.